1994. A small garage in Seattle. Here, a young Jeff Bezos is bending over his desk, looking at the computer screen. At that time, no one could even imagine that this garage would one day become the world's biggest shopping empire. The question is, how did a simple garage project turn into a trillion-dollar Amazon? This is the story of vision, risk, and that passion which changed the way of shopping forever. 1964. Albuquerque, New Mexico. Here, a girl, only 17 years old, gives birth to her son. He is named Jeff. Jeff's life begins under the shadow of struggle. But soon, a new support arrives when his stepfather, Miguel Bezos, himself a Cuban immigrant, takes the responsibility of raising Jeff. From childhood, Jeff's world was not like that of ordinary kids. Where other children cried after breaking toys, Jeff would break them apart to understand how they worked. He had turned his garage into a small lab. Experiments, science projects, and new ideas were his play. From an early age, one thing was clear. Jeff's dreams were not limited to garages and small walls. His thinking was much bigger. Education took Jeff to Princeton, where he studied computer science and electrical engineering. There he sharpened a logical, analytical mind that guided his future. After graduation, he moved to Wall Street, rising quickly at investment firm D. Shaw. Jeff grasped the link between technology and finance, where the real game lay. Then came the spark, a report that internet use was growing at 2,300% per year. To many, just a number. To Jeff, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Jeff Bezos's thinking was built on a simple but powerful principle: customer obsession. For him, the customer was always the first and most important. He used to say, "If you keep your customers happy, they will always come back." This philosophy also meant that Jeff never ran after short-term profits. Where Wall Street demanded quarterly numbers, Bezos thought in decades. For him, even today's loss was acceptable if tomorrow's gain and growth looked bigger. And he had one mantra that became Amazon's DNA: get big fast. Bezos knew that the internet was a race, and in this race, only the one who achieved scale first would win. This vision was what paved the way for Amazon to grow from a garage startup into a global powerhouse. The first big decision in front of Jeff Bezos was leaving a safe and high-paying Wall Street job. At that time, people said, "Why are you destroying a stable career?" But for Jeff, taking risks was the real formula for growth. When he shared his idea, an online bookstore, people laughed. In those days, shopping was limited only to physical stores. People wondered, who will enter their credit card details on a computer? And then, in the early years, financial pressure constantly loomed over Amazon. Every month, survival was a challenge. In front of every investor, Jeff had to justify his vision again and again. These were the moments where Amazon's story stopped being just a business idea and became a struggle against doubt, against fear, against failure. 1994. Jeff Bezos is sitting in his car, traveling from New York to Seattle. With him, a laptop and a vision to build an online bookstore. Reaching Seattle, he turned his garage into the headquarters, the same place that one day would become the center of the world's shopping. Amazon's first sales were simple: books. But what started on a small scale grew at an unexpectedly fast pace. Within just 1 month, Amazon's deliveries had reached all 50 states of America, and people in 45 countries were buying books online. This moment was a signal. Jeff Bezos was not just chasing a crazy idea. He was paving the way toward a new world. The world now had to accept. Amazon's experiment was truly working. Amazon's growth soon drew attention. Barnes & Noble, America's biggest bookstore, mocked Amazon as a tiny shop and took it to court. But this only proved that Jeff had rattled giants. Then came eBay, building its own online empire. The internet became a battlefield. The dot-com crash of 2000 wiped out thousands of firms. People asked, is Amazon next? Bezos shifted strategy. Amazon expanded into electronics, toys, and beyond. No longer just a bookstore, it became a marketplace. In 2005, Amazon launched Prime, free 2-day shipping, a loyalty bond hard to break. Then came the Kindle, revolutionizing publishing and putting entire libraries at readers' fingertips. Quietly, Bezos built AWS, Amazon Web Services, the hidden backbone of the internet. Netflix, Airbnb, and countless startups ran on its servers. By 2018, Amazon reached a $1 trillion market cap. Jeff Bezos had become not just an entrepreneur, but an icon of modern business. While Amazon's growth was being celebrated across the world, another story was also being written, one of criticism. Reports surfaced that workers in Amazon warehouses faced tough conditions, tight deadlines, exhausting shifts, and constant pressure. Then came accusations of monopoly. Governments and regulators launched antitrust investigations. The question was, is Amazon just a company or a giant that is crushing competition? At the same time, Jeff Bezos' personal life came into the spotlight. The world began pointing fingers at his record-breaking wealth, luxurious lifestyle, and space adventures. Some saw him as a visionary, while others labeled him a ruthless capitalist. But despite all these challenges, one thing remained constant: Amazon's unstoppable growth. After every storm, the company emerged even bigger and more powerful. From a small garage to global dominance, Jeff Bezos reshaped industries: e-commerce, cloud computing, publishing, logistics. His story carries a simple lesson. With bold vision, obsession for customers, and courage to risk, you can change the world. Today, Amazon is not just a company, but an ecosystem powering startups and economies alike. And the deepest truth? It all began in a garage.